Welcome to another episode of STO Nation, a production of Park Media. Before I introduce today's guest, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share, and leave a 5-star review. And if you find this podcast useful in any way and want to pay us the ultimate compliment, head on over to our Patreon page where you can subscribe to be a Classic, Stealth, or Beast Mode subscriber.
This is Stephen Grasso, and on this episode of STO Nation, I'm going to be sitting down with Jeff Hines at the Overland Expo West to talk about his new beast.
With like it is now, or do you do your question and me, or?
Oh, like an A/B roll?
Yeah.
No. Man,
You're not that.
No. Come on, man. Like a 2 cameras.
I mean, you're pretty on top of things.
Marcy wanted to do that, but we're not doing that. Welcome to STO Nation, another episode, and we are here. I want to say live, but we're not live. We're recording this.
Yeah.
We're at the Overland Expo West 2022, and I'm with Jeff Hines, who's a storyteller owner, and behind the camera as the chief heckler is Ethan Grossman, and in the van next to us taking a shower is Greg Wilkins in Oscar mode. So, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm fantastic. I'm happy to be here, and it's a real good time, and met some amazing people, and came up here by myself and just talked to a few people in the Facebook group.
I feel so much smaller than you.
You are downhill. You are downhill. But I love it here. I love Flagstaff, and I've been to this event before, but never camped. And
this is kind of unique because it's not just vans. You know, sometimes the stuff we go to are like van meetings, and this is. So for people who don't know what the Overland Expo is, it's an exposition with demonstrations, with training classes, with vendors, and it's been around for a long time. Like I think the first time I went was in 2014 on a motorcycle, and it was started by the Hansons, who had Overland Journal, which if you like the idea of this kind of travel, especially like to remote areas, Overland Journal is a fantastic magazine, and I've got a copy that in here. It's really cool. I'll show you. I don't know if you guys saw it out there.
I haven't seen the copy, no.
They have a booth there for the magazine. But so let's talk about, I noticed this is the first time we've met. We've talked on Facebook and stuff, and same with Ethan. I never met him until now. Greg I've known since we did the Vermont trip last year. And there's some other storyteller owners here too. Gordy and Dolly are here, and the Wallsmiths, and Kevin is out there with his stealth. We've seen quite a few people, but you guys specifically, you have a beast.
I have a beast.
How long have you owned it? What made you? Did you own an RV before? Were you a van guy? Like, how did you end up with a beast?
So I've owned my beast for 3 weeks and 3 days. I picked it up on Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, Viva la Cinco de Mayo.
Why do I feel like you've owned one for a lot longer?
Because I've been in the group for a whole long time.
Okay.
I started out tent camping, and then I also have an adventure motorcycle, a KTM 990. And the goal to come to Adventure Overland before was to ride from San Diego, California to here on that and tent camp and do all the motorcycle riding courses and everything, and just never got it to get together with that, only did it locally. And then did tent camping or crashing into other people's RVs. In San Diego, we have tons of motorcycle riding area, from sand dunes to mountain climbing to wide open throttle deserts, and some forestry stuff. And then I went from tents and buddy camping to a toy hauler. I had a little 19-foot Attitude toy hauler pulled with a truck, so it's half-ton towable. So I have a F-150 and pull it with that. It holds 2 dirt bikes or 3, or the big bike or a quad or something. And we always circle our wagons at the sand dunes or Superstition off-road area near El Centro and watch the Blue Angels fly on President's Day weekend. That's always cool. And then it's just like, kind of got tired of the trailer, hooking it up, unhooking it. I mean, it's nice you have another vehicle, but if you have a street legal motorcycle, I mean, there's your grocery getter or errand runner or whatever you need. And been looking at vans for a while. I probably in 2013 looked at a couple sportsmobiles. Now it's their classic, which is the fiberglass rear end on a van chassis, but it was the original Econoline van one and 4-wheel drive with their big Quigley 4-wheel drives in them. And I thought that was the way I was going to go. And then I put it on hold for a while. I was still active duty military at the time and did a few deployments and decided, let's go look some more. And then I ran into a Revel in 2019 in a Costco parking lot and just admired it. It was like that's the route to go. Sprinter built up, and then you start seeing all these other builds, and looked at outside van and saw them a few places, and a bunch of other local builders all the way up the West Coast, and there's some amazing stuff, and the wait times is crazy, and it's like, do I really want it, and do I want to rent one to try first? And then I saw in episodes of We're the Russos, and they were in the prototype early Sprinter for the Ford Transit, and it looked amazing, and the roof height is awesome. I'm 6'3", I'm a large guy, and some of the Sprinters just seemed like they had low roofs and tall floors, so kind of put me off a little bit. And I saw him talk about Storyteller Overland, and I was like, well, I got to see one of those now. And I went to the LA RV show at Fontana at the racetrack. I think it was 2019. Maybe it was 2020. I can't remember now. It might have been 20. I don't remember. Anyway, looking for the storytellers, and they were 2 empty spots. And I'm like, they're supposed to be here. The map says they're supposed to be there. They're not here. I can't even see them. And then somebody says, no, they've moved over to another spot. And I walked over there and saw a classic at the time, and maybe they were just modes at the time. Maybe they didn't have the threes. And I said, I got to stand in one and look at one. And it looked small at first, but then with everything was folded up, it looked amazing. So that's where I met Andrew Cooley from Storyteller, and my RV salesman, Chris Hastings from Rec Fans La Mesa RV in San Diego. And they just both took their time and answered questions. And I don't know, it felt like I've known him for 10 years.
Yeah.
And it was super friendly and super knowledgeable. And they let me play with everything and do everything, sit in the seat. And it was really neat. And it really impressed me. And I liked the way the cabinets felt. They didn't feel like others. And it was neat.
Not your typical RV interior.
Didn't. And it was neat because you could have it set up with the RV and a bed down, and everything's in there. And then you can change the groove lounge to any way you want it. And then you can sleep on the groove lounge. You can haul cargo. The first thought was motorcycle in the back, and then maybe one on a carrier. And then it looks a little tight in there for that. And I measured it. The adventure bike will not fit in the inside of there. I measured that out a couple times.
Which way won't it fit?
The 990 is big and wide.
Well, I have a 1290.
You have a 1290.
So which way does it not fit? Front to back?
Front wheel facing aft, backwards towards the back, and then the back wheel forward towards the cab, and then the other way it's just the fairings and the crash
Kinda
bars,
hits
and
everything.
it just the measurements and the groove lines.
Yeah,
and I don't want a nice bike rubbing on the nice interior of a trailer.
Right.
You could pull noodle the heck out of it, and I don't know if it'll still make a difference. But
I mean, I guess the option for us to have adventure bikes is a trailer, really.
a trailer.
Because we're not going to be putting it on a bumper. It's too big.
It's really heavy. You have to get a smaller adventure bike.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because a lot of the people who I've talked to that own vans came from adventure motorcycles or motorcycles in general. Like, we all seem to have that same path, to this thing.
Yeah.
But 3 weeks, man, that's crazy. I realized yours was a newer one when I saw the interior and saw the Volta panel. I just didn't know. I keep thinking you've had it for like ever.
I wish.
Yeah.
I'm happy with where I got it and how it came. And
how was your experience with La Mesa?
La Mesa was good. There's a few times, I know they're all busy, but there's a few times there's like a dead hole of communication sometimes, but then they answer and give you all the info. And
everyone kind of felt that way about their dealer, where they couldn't get any.
Everyone.
I mean, we were lucky when I got ours. It wasn't the surge yet where people were going nuts and trying to find stuff. But and then La Mesas are all very different. There's one in South Florida that nobody wants to deal with, but it's a completely different animal than the one in San Diego. And so now that you have it, is this the first trip?
This is the first trip.
The maiden
I
voyage.
drove it to work for 2 weeks straight to try to put miles on it and get used to the brakes and the traffic and the height and pay attention to everything and just get used to it and run all the stuff. I've camped in my driveway all 2 weekends before this, so ran the shower, ran everything.
I mean, I have serious jealousy over your water panel in the back because it's so much nicer than what we have, and it's more functional, and the little things like you can turn the lights on from the front and the back, and
so I don't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
No running an extra switch to the back, it's already there.
Right. And then I know that there's been a few little issues you're having right now with the Volta system because Volta was here yesterday and they reflashed your...
They flashed my thing, and now the fridge
amazing.
doesn't run on 12 volts.
Right.
So I got an inverter and I still got lots of juice, so I'm
You're
good.
going to get it sorted out.
I'll get it sorted.
I mean,
it's a camper. It's got a couple things, but my toy hauler, it was constant maintenance.
So you're traveling with your dog, right?
Oh yeah, Charlie.
How's Charlie like digging
Charlie
that?
loves camping. He
Yeah.
loves being with me everywhere he goes. He's definitely a desert dog. Out in the open in the desert with my circle wagon of friends, we just let the dogs run loose, and he's the calm one.
Right.
He used to not be, but now he
pretty
is.
chill.
He is.
Yeah.
He loves it.
He's a big dog.
He's
Yeah.
German Shepherd mix, so he's a big dog. He loves it. We walk like crazy on Friday, put some miles on the dog and on me, and we walked all day, and his dog Charlie as well.
So what do you think is your game plan for next trips, or are you gonna? Do you have the possibility of full timing, or not?
I'm not full timing yet. I'm retired retired from the Navy, and now I still work for the Navy. It's a great job. It's in San Diego. I do what I love. I love to teach, and I love working with sonar, so that's pretty cool. And I still like it right now, and I love it.
Wait a second. Were you on a sub?
I look for
gonna
stuff.
say-
I'm on surface shifts. I like sunlight and daylight.
I was gonna say, man, you must have had a cramped time on
No,
a sub.
yeah, at 6'3", they said, well, you're tall enough to be in the Coast Guard, and then you can walk to shore. And then, no, I didn't do subs. I did surface shifts and did 24 and a half years for that, and that was awesome, and I still love it and learned a lot. And I kind of relate some of the things I learned in there to the van and camper is take ownership of it and learn it and know what it is and read the manuals inside and out. And I don't know how many times I read them before I got it. I don't know how many times I read them since I got it.
The manual's a great resource. There's
There
a lot
is.
of information in there
There
for a
is.
small book. I found a lot of, like we were talking yesterday about calibrating the tanks and everything, the procedures in there. You know, that piece of advice travels across so many different things.
Everything.
Like everybody I know will post something and some not friendly person will be like, read the fucking manual. You know what I mean? So-
RTFM.
right.
RTFM.
But,
But sometimes we get in those situations like, oh my God, I don't have this and I need it to work. And the amazing resource of our group is, wow. I mean, I pull up and I'm first time coming here. A bunch of people, Greg said he was going to be here. He's going to look for you. And I didn't really know anybody. And I pull up the road and there's this white van at the top of the hill. And I'm like, I think that's a beast, but it's got no stripes. And it looked amazing. And Ethan's sitting out front of it, and he's like, saved your spot. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
So it was like right then and there, and we got it leveled out, which was a fun story. And
It's funny, like the people and it's I think it's like just the storyteller community, because I don't really see it from other types of RVs, but everybody kind of like gets kind of close and bonds and keeps in touch with people and does other trips and like, hey, I'll meet you here, and you know, that's the nice thing about the ownership of this as well, is just the fact that their community and the Facebook page. Like, I'm gonna second what you said. Even if you have read the manual and you have figured things out, somebody's done the deep dive on it, or gone a level higher, or modded it, you know? And because of that, we end up with things like the Paul Pritz mats, which are phenomenal and affordable, and, you know, it's just, yeah. Huh?
soft.
Soft, yeah. But that's the best part about the ownership of the product. And I'm sure now you're like, now that you've owned one for 3 weeks, but I thought you had one for much longer because you were involved in the community. It's nice to know that other people feel the same way. You
Absolutely.
know? Yeah.
And there's even, you know, truck guys, Jeep guys out here too. They're still friendly, but they don't, and they stay in small cliques as well too, but everybody's friendly out here. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not the big bus RVs when you pull in somewhere and everybody just closes up shop and ignores you. And
Yeah.
we're on our own little bubble. And
Yeah, and we don't have like little signs and planners out that say home is where you park it and stuff like that either. It's a completely different lifestyle.
It is different.
Yeah. People are like, what do you mean you camp where there's no bathroom, or where do you plug in? Like,
Yeah,
no, we
true.
don't plug in. Yeah, I know.
I haven't even started the van to charge anything. It's been super great temperatures up here.
No, and I ran the heat all night last night because I'm a Floridian. But I looked at my power and I got plenty of power, plenty of water. I took a shower yesterday, you know, and I didn't even fill the auxiliary tank. It's, you know, we're a small 3-day thing, so we're not going to be using a lot of power. But getting back to the question, what's next? You're not going to full time it.
Eventually I will. I love this and the gig I got right now, and it pays lots of bills well, and I want to do something different. I want to go full time. I don't know that I want to stay in California the whole time. I like it there, but it's time to move somewhere where there's pine trees higher than 5,000 feet and more openness, and outdoorsiness again.
Yeah, we haven't really had a chance to explore California yet, other than crossing over the border into Mexico. That was like the limit of the van being in California. But we're looking forward to doing that. How you doing?
It's nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting
Nice
you.
to meet
Take
you.
care.
Nice to meet you.
Were you guys all there making all that racket?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
right. I was in
Not
bed by
yet.
like 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Tony, that little Asian guy, you got pissed. You got
Did he?
mad. Yeah, you got off.
Well, they had a rave at one of the places.
No,
Was
it was
that-
like they were camped like right next to him or something. I don't know. You guys
I
got
didn't
pissed.
hear anything
I didn't
last night.
I heard some people talking, but it didn't bother me.
Where are you guys heading?
We're
home?
gonna go back over to the Overland Expo. And,
No, I mean like you're not going to anywhere.
oh no, we're going back to Phoenix after that.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are you guys going?
Probably Grand Canyon. We're
Oh, yeah?
thinking, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We just haven't figured out.
You're already here.
Yeah, I mean I got to be in Vegas tomorrow, but we'll figure it out.
What you got going in Vegas?
I'm leaving the van there and flying home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a storage place there,
Oh, nice.
like a RV storage company.
All right.
So
Well, I just wanted to come by and say bye and
yeah, I'm glad you guys
safe
didn't,
travels, fellas.
you didn't get yelled at anymore, did you?
No,
No.
There's been people going up and down that trail. So
Good.
I feel so guilty now.
Right.
Take care.
See you guys,
See you.
man. Have a
Have
good
fun.
trip.
Be safe.
All right.
Take care.
You guys gonna be up here next year, maybe?
Oh yeah.
I might even go to the one in Bend.
Oh, the one on the East Coast?
No, Bend, Oregon.
Aren't they having one on the East? Coast?
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to that one too or no?
I've been to the North Carolina one a few times. Yeah, it's cool. It's different, you know? You get different vendors and stuff. It's not as big as this, though.
Right.
This is huge, yeah. But we'll probably be at that one. And then Bend is in July, this summer.
Yeah, Ben would be kind of cool.
Yeah, we know some people with vans there. We might go stay at their place and leave the van in Bend for like, you know, maybe a couple weeks and fly back out there and do more Oregon and Northern California.
Heck yeah. If you can, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the whole reason we got these things.
All right, you guys take care.
You
See
too,
ya.
man.
Hey, do you guys want a couple of those beers? You guys leave them today?
You know what? Is it blueberry ones?
Yeah.
Bring, because I know Greg wants one. Bring, if you don't mind, we'll take it. And that's what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
These guys are
Yeah.
in like Toyotas with pop top tents.
Yeah.
And we met them last night, and they were hanging out, and it's like it's a cool community.
And everybody's got dogs and bicycles.
Yeah, dogs, bicycles. Some people have boats. Some people. I mean, there's a lot of dogs camping with people. And then I saw a cat yesterday in a van, so that was kind of neat. One dude was riding around on a Super 73 bike with his dog in a backpack.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw
the
that.
dog was really cool. But so what's the bucket list trip?
The bucket list trip's probably North Rim, Grand Canyon, or I'm also going to use the van to search out maybe homesteading land or something like that, to get a small plot of land, invite some people out, and build something small on there.
I've heard a few people talk about that. That's a cool idea, actually. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, wow.
You sure you guys don't want this?
No, I know. I still got more in there.
All right, cool. I'll give it to Greg
Good.
because these were good. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Take it easy. That's awesome. So the bucket list trip is really just to keep getting out and doing stuff like this. Really, it's everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's so many places in the United States I haven't seen.
exactly why I
Yeah.
want to do this.
Yeah, the van gives you the opportunity to do that and not spend a lot of money on hotels or feel like you have to be in a town somewhere.
Right.
So getting back to the purchasing of the Storyteller, was there anything about it when you were buying it that you thought like, nah, this is going to be a no-go? Like, what was the bathroom situation for you?
The bathroom situation is not that big a deal.
Okay.
It's small. Like I said, I looked at Revels, and I sat in one at La Mesa RV, and it was when the pricing was really good.
Like 90,000? at the time?
110.
110.
110.
Yeah.
On the window and the sticker, and they were wheeling and dealing as well. So
Yeah.
I sat in one for a while, and I sat in the seat that's behind the driver's seat, kind of like when the groove lounge is in the up position, and I was like, this is too tight, and it just doesn't feel right. And then I was like, okay, I got to play with the toilet. And you have this closet with a toilet, and when you're 6'3" and a large fella, there's no getting around that you just don't fit.
Right. Right.
And with the curtain is totally different. I mean, it's still a little tight in there, and
it's tight, but you can do this.
I can
Like,
do that. The
yeah.
only issue I have is the back of the button, the latch.
Yeah.
It's right in the center of the head, so I got to kind of duck a little bit. But other than that, if you scoot over to one side a little bit, or like kind of lean on the groove lounge a little bit, it's out of your way. It's fine. It
Yeah.
works great.
Yeah, that was like for a lot of people, it's amazing the amount of people that we talk to that are like, I've never used my shower. you know, or like I don't use that. I go to a gym or a campground shower, and I think you're missing out on one of the best features about
It's
the
easy.
thing.
I didn't have to walk over to the public showers and flip-flops and dirt.
Right. Or like, I can't tell how many campgrounds I've been to where they were, like when I was on the motorcycle trip, you had to pay for the shower.
Oh, yeah. Or the
You know,
ones where
you're
you put the
sticking
quarter
quarters
in
in
every
it,
once,
yeah.
and it's a cold water quarters, you know?
Yeah.
And then here we have, I mean, that recirc thing is amazing. You turn the water heater on, wait a little bit, hit the recirc button, and hot water comes, the faucet comes right to the nozzle, and it's like the first burst is just a little cool, and then it's game on.
You know what really surprised me too was the amount of water pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Like I thought it was going to be a trickle, like because of the pump, but it's fantastic. It's great water pressure, great heat. You know, draining the gray tank's not a big deal. Nothing feels like work.
No.
For this,
it's not at all.
You know, you look at some of these Class A's and Class C's. People are setting up and they've got lines going to the black tank to a drain, and you know, plugging in power and all this other stuff. For us, I feel like I hate using this cliche, the freedom machine. Like I can just close the door and go. You know, unless I got a bunch of crap on the countertop, like my air fryer and stuff. But
how's your head?
Yeah, yeah. So we had a funny thing happen the other night. I made food in the air fryer. The wind here has been in the evening and the afternoon has been unbelievably powerful. Like I've noticed the vendors now all have like 25-pound weights and sandbags holding stuff down because people's tents were like flying away. So I'm out here with Greg the other night, and I'd made some chicken and some Brussels sprouts, and I had the tray from the air fryer sitting here, and I was sitting here doing something, and the wind came in. I think it fell right off and hit me right in the head, and then Brussels sprouts went everywhere, but we ate them off the ground, so it wasn't bad.
Perfect.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about the possibility of maybe doing more trips outside the United States too?
Not so much outside the United States. I've seen a lot of it. For a while, I was doing motorcycle trips down to Baja, Mexico, and just kind of, it's cool and neat. It's just not what I want to do anymore. It's
You ever been to Mike's?
I've been to Mike's on a motorcycle. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And then Santo Tomas, Ejido Rendra, San Vicente, all up and down the coast. Watched a couple Bajas down there. It's neat. Love it. Love the racing side of it too. Still the motorcycles, and it's just awesome. But mostly it's just to see the rest of the United States that I haven't seen.
Yeah, and that's how we kind of feel. I mean, we're talking about shipping into Europe maybe when we retire completely, and I'm going to do the research into that because I'd like to be able to. To me, that sounds like it'd be a great trip to go through the mountains and things like that, and some of these small European countries.
Well, they have small roads, small bridges.
I know there's a lot of places where we probably can't go. I mean, even worse than here in the U.S., like in the mountains, like some of the roads in Italy, I remember were. Even like the Fiat 500 that we were in was a tight fit in some of these roads. But I think we figure that out pretty quick when you get there. Like, hey, I'll park here and use like one of the things we noticed when we were in Lisbon, Portugal, is that even like the Uber drivers, there's certain places they're not allowed in the city because they're considered commercial vehicles, or like vehicles like this, there were roads that they couldn't use. So I think once you get there, you figure that out pretty quick. But still, I don't think it would be a limiting factor to go do it, and that's like a bucket list trip for sure.
As long as you have the mindset of you can't be awestruck by everything and then not pay attention to the little details that get you in trouble.
Right. Let's talk about mods. So you got a beast. You have a lot already done.
I have a lot already done, and that's kind of where I wanted to be, a great starting point and a good idea to get going. The reason I didn't build my own van is because I would never get done, and I would never be happy. I'd see somebody else do something on YouTube and want to change it. So that's a great starting point. I think any of them are a great starting point, and definitely you can start with a classic and build it into a beast or your own version of Vanzilla or anything you want it to do. Right. But I wanted that one. The big bad retro stripes are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just blam in your face.
Yeah, I like yours way better than mine. Like the beast stripes are just way bigger and cooler looking, and
they remind me of the old Tony Stewart or Ivan Stewart's Toyotas, and old race, old Baja style and retro, and
No, it's definitely cool. And then Rumpel came out with a blanket that was like for van lifing that's got the same kind of stripes on it. And we bought 2 of those. It's like, yeah.
Nice.
And then my sweatshirt with the stupid stripes on it that we all like, and except Ethan, he pulled them off his van. So
I have to show you my blanket. My mom does quilts.
yeah,
And she made me a quilted camping blanket. It's even got wool in between of it. And it's got a bunch of pine trees on it, and it's got the Sasquatch Yeti doing the little walk, like the little sticker through there, and it's amazing. She embroidered it for me on the back. And
I think my favorite all-time commercial is, I think it's an insurance company or something. I don't know what it is, and they're interviewing the Sasquatch, and the guy goes, "So Bigfoot," and he goes, "What'd you just call me?"
I haven't
He
seen
goes,
that.
"Bigfoot," and he goes, "My name's Daryl."
I haven't seen that. I've seen the ones where it's the Jack Lynx ones.
Yeah,
Where
right.
they,
No, this is like, he's like a regular dude sitting talking to the guy. He goes, what did you just call me? Bigfoot. He goes, "My name's Daryl." Like that. Yeah, we gotta check that. We'll get a picture of that and maybe use it for the interview.
Oh, okay.
Anything you'd change on it?
Oh,
You disappointed
coming
in?
here, I should have came here by myself, because walk around with Ethan, it's like a competition. There's so many.
This
cool
has been an
dudettes
expensive
here.
show. I
It's
gotta
been
tell
an
you, yeah.
expensive show. I definitely ordered the hammock yesterday because I gotta have that. No, I gotta figure out some kind of motorcycle hauling. I don't know how big a motorcycle I'll go on it yet, but I gotta figure that part out.
I'm still doing the same thing. I'm gonna sell the 1290 and get something. I saw these Volcons running around, electric with big tires on them.
Yeah.
Because that's still a possibility too.
Well, I still have 2 dirt bikes, EXE KTMs, that are a lot lighter than the adventure bikes, so
Yeah.
I can take one of them and maybe one of the electric bikes, and of course the Super 73s are always pretty cool to look at too, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Just
I mean, we're gonna all kind of follow each other and see what people do,
Mhm.
because some sort of 2-wheel device other than the bicycles for the back is in the future. And since I got this, I'm just not riding the KTM as much anymore.
Yeah, I kind of,
Yeah.
same thing. It's getting dusty.
Yeah.
And then I'm not a one-wheel guy.
I tried that.
I can't.
I'll end up
No.
with a broken collarbone.
Yeah,
That's gonna be.
I'll break the other one.
Yeah.
I got one already custom rebuilt. Why not? I'll save the other one.
Yeah, I tried it in Baja, and this guy really made me feel bad. He was like, "I've only had it for 5 days," and he's like going all over the place. I got on it, and like, it feels like a snowboard.
I could fall over my own 2 feet.
Yeah, I'm not graceful at all. So, no, I think the bike's some sort of bike in the future, and I've got a pretty rare Moto Guzzi that I will just, like I was telling Ethan, I want to go to Barber, put it on the back, and take it to Barber and camp there, and then do some like parade laps and
And slow laps, and just enjoy it.
Yeah. And then as far as mods, you got anything else planned?
I definitely want to do the bumper and the winch. That Storyteller Tinsic bumper is amazing. I wish a winch would go in there because it looks great.
I don't know why they didn't engineer it with that option.
I know. It's a great look. It's got a great look, just factory. It's just, I wish we could
So you know what?
unbolt a plate and bolt in a plate. And
Something I'm wondering is, and I got to go look and see how it's put on there. If you use the winch mount that I have, the Van Compass hidden mount, so you still have the stock bumper, if they could cut out the middle of it for a fair lead and put it over that.
Or I don't know exactly how it attaches under there to get better mounting points for shackles and tow and pull out. And you got definitely.
So that comes with this. So on the Van Compass one, what they do is they take off the plastic piece, they remove the Mercedes-Benz bumper that's in the back, and they replace it with this bumper that's got shackle mounts that come through. Then they cut holes in the bumper, the plastic bumper, for the fair lead and then for the mounting points. I'll show you.
I'll have to look at that.
Depending on how that's attached, it may be able to go over it. I did the research, and I like the way the backwoods kind of looks. It looks tough, it's big and everything. And then the CA tune, and then I watched the video installing the CA tune, and they're cutting parts of the frame off, and I'm thinking, I don't want to do that. Well, they had to do the same thing with this. You're not going to avoid that when you got to get the heavy duty attachment points into the frame. So that could be an option. And then Ethan, you have the CA tuned, right? The hammerhead?
Hammerhead, I think.
Yeah. And that's the more I look at that bumper, the more I like it, because it's not overbearing like the backwoods is. But either way, you're still gonna add like 100 pounds to the front.
Yes.
With either one.
And that's something you got to take into consideration too, is the more cool stuff you do to it, you're adding more weight to it. So you got to be cognizant of it, and it can only take so much, and it's a good starting point, but it's not perfect.
Have you had yours weighed yet?
No, I have not.
Yeah, we weighed ours with everything in it, and I think we were like 9,800 pounds, fully loaded.
10-4.
10-4.
But you can
New leaf back on the back.
Yeah, that may be something that going to the agile leaf pack for me in the back too eventually. But I was going to ask you something else too.
more mods or
You've got stock rims and tires on yours?
stock rims and tires.
Okay, because it looks higher, but I guess there's a bit the beast because the wheels are bigger.
Well,
right?
you're also on the downhill side where I'm jumped up a little bit, so it does look bigger, but it doesn't look any different than Greg's Stealth, really.
Are you
it looks
happy
about
with the lighting package that's on there?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Why? I haven't turned on the very top ones yet, but I've used the ditch lights, I've used the side lights, and the reverse lights are amazing because where I work, sometimes the parking lights don't work at night, and there's lots of people walking around. So
Are those keyed to the reverse gear?
No, there's a
So you
switch. That's the
switch.
farthest right switch. So I wish the switches were lighted, but once you figure out where they're at, you don't need the lights. So just play with it over and over and over, and park into your driveway at night. And this one's this one, this one's this one, this one, this one. And
Are you going to upgrade your sound system? Because that seems
of
to be
course,
a thing.
that used to be the first thing on the list until I came here, and now I got other things. But I definitely got to get Paul's mats after standing on everybody else's. So it's been on the list. It's just shuffling where its order is.
So
But
he was here last night. Did you see him?
I saw his van in the parking lot, but I didn't
Yeah,
see him.
Paul was
He
running
come up
around.
here?
No, we saw him at the booth. He had a lot of family with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was his van with the
yeah.
one-of-a-kind KC light covers and the one-of-a-kind hood.
I was going to ask you about the KC. So a lot of people don't realize the reason why they put light covers on lights.
Well,
Well,
California has to.
There's a lot of states that actually require that, and they can't. Like I have clear covers on mine. They're like, no, they got to be dark. So most of these lights come with covers. I was going to ask you about California, and obviously
You have to have them in California.
Yeah,
It's
That's
a
the
big
reason.
thing, too, because, SoCal, down, especially where I'm at, it's got a lot of off-road trucks and trophy truck wannabes and huge lights, and whether they're expensive from Baja or cheap from Amazon China, and they just run with them on and headlight upgrades, and it's starting to get really bright down there too.
that's the front of my motorcycle.
Well, I did
Cyclops
that.
LEDs and a big Cyclops light bar
Yeah,
underneath
I
it.
did
Yeah.
one of my motorcycles with Baja Designs and one the adventure bike with a aftermarket kit.
Yeah.
It's so bright.
Yeah, they're bright. I tell you what though, I think that, and that's why I feel about these lights. I think the one on the motorcycle saved my ass one time coming around a corner in Colorado
so.
where I saw a deer that I probably wouldn't have seen with the stock lights. And
The motorcycles, it doesn't, as a motorcycle rider, they are bright and they can be annoying to when you're in a car. But as a motorcycle rider, it's like, yeah, he needs that because
Yeah.
the motorcycle light's not very awesome, even on brand new fancy bikes.
No,
So,
it amazes me what crap they put on a brand new
Mhm.
motorcycle. The KTM's one were almost dim.
my 990 is dim.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
like a necessary upgrade, not a
Mhm.
luxury. It's like
And
something
you
you have to
can't
do.
drive over 50 miles an hour at night without feeling
Right.
the pucker factor
Yeah.
on a stock headlight.
Yeah, we would have hit that deer for sure
Mhm.
with stock headlights, and that's why I feel about the upgrade on the lights on these too. Because the model, you guys have the LED lights, we don't.
That was one of the biggest things. So I came to Overland Expo last year when it was in September, and Young Wall was like, dude, you got to see this thing. You got to see the new one. You got to see the new one. You got to see the new one. And I couldn't wait to meet up with her and show her. She's like, and light switch and LED lights, and it was awesome. So
I don't think I want to dump the $2,000 that they talk about for the factory stuff, but people
Mhm.
are saying there's other options out there, so I may wait a little while and try it.
and the longer you wait, the more there'll be, and
Yeah.
the better price point, and they'll work out all the bugs. And
Yeah.
if you're patient, it'll pay off. Just like waiting for the van.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything that you, since you've owned it now and been in it, is there anything that you would have changed, like that you think from coming from the factory should have been different? I know it's only been 3 weeks. You'll figure something out, but I mean, for now.
No, for now, it's kind of getting used to it and where everything fits and stuff. Like I said, I wish the bumper was more
Van or a winch
more
capable.
up. If you're putting it on there, I wish it was more winch capable or upgrade capable a little bit. But I understand the weight savings and I do understand that. I like it. I really do.
How about anything you saw when you were doing your investigating that you wish this had? Like, is there anything from the Rebel or a Sportsmobile that you saw that you wish this had?
Not that I can think of. Everything if as long as it's Sprinter-based chassis, it's pretty good.
Right.
Or they're pretty equal. There's a bunch of good stuff we can do to them to make them like the little mat for the dogs. Got to do that. And nothing that I noticed that there's nothing else you need. It's more of a want or something you want it to do differently.
Yeah, and we could get away with, like, the perfect example is all the talk we had last night about mounting stuff on the dash, you know.
Yeah.
Is you buy a Garmin, it comes with a mount. It's usable right out of the box, but we want it to really fit the operation a little bit more and be better for what we're doing.
It is, but it's way up there on that dash, and you're like driving down the road. I don't want to reach way up there.
You know, I started off with one thing, and then I went to something else, and now we'll see how this works, and then hopefully it doesn't happen that in a year or two some other company comes out with one that's even better that I got to change to. Mm-hmm. But like you said, those are all more wants than needs. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, the whole van is not a need. It's a want.
No, it is, but now it's a need. Most of the things that you mentioned of, is there anything else different you would like different? It's really Mercedes difference, but it's the platform you're with. You have a limited choice in platforms, but there's certain things that are just a little bit weird on the Mercedes. Yeah,
and everybody talks that, I'm on like a Sprinter forum, and they're like, oh, the model year before this, pre-2019, was so much more dependable and better. I get it. They change things. It takes a while to work the bugs out and figure out this like the power steering, Mm-hmm. And their solution was to go back to old school hose clamp, which really amazed me for a company like Mercedes-Benz. But hey, that's neither here nor there. It's what you don't have an option in that. That is the platform.
Right.
So we just have to make it better. Last question that Youngwell likes to ask is, what does it mean to you to be part of the Storyteller
Nation?
Nation, yeah.
Well, after listening to everybody else say theirs, now I got a little bit of a head start. So the cool part about it is I was a part of the Storyteller Nation before I even had a storyteller. And just the awesome camaraderie of the group to help each other out, to, answer a text in the middle of the night or anything. It's a really good family of close friends that you may never even have met before other than on the internet, but you just talk to them like you've known them forever, and everyone's there to help, and everyone's there to look out for you, and everyone's there to tell you not to buy a certain mount for your GPS because it fell apart.
Right.
So
we're not going to talk about what it is. Yeah.
Well, that's another day.
Yeah,
but just the whole family vibe and closeness and friendship. I mean, I don't know any of you guys, but it's like we've been friends forever.
Right.
And circle of wagons. It's just like my friends that I've known for 15, 20 years. And it kind of is like the camaraderie of like the military. You get to know and trust people, and everybody's different and quirky, and we're all quirky if we have these vans, but everyone's different, but everybody comes together and helps out with the community. So the part about it is just amazing, and I hope someday that I can be as helpful in the groups as everybody else and just keep doing. And hey, I got a driveway with an extra van spot in the front, and if anybody needs water, power, or jump in the pool or some barbecue, come on out to El Cajon.
So we're actually talking about putting together we on the forum that we have to put together a list of that people, because remember it was in the motorcycle community, like ADV Rider had a whole section of people that are willing to, that had tools, that had a shop, which was really cool.
You could actually add it to the list of owners and locations.
Yeah, and people that are willing to allow someone to like mooch dock for a while.
Mooch dock, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think it's I think that's kind of a van-centric thing too, almost, because when we were in Baja, we met people that don't have a storyteller, like mullet the van. This guy, Jason Warner, and he's like, "Hey man, if you're in Oregon, you can stay at my house. Park the van there, and that's been kind of universal.
Yeah.
But all right, great, man. I'm glad we got to meet, and I'm glad I got to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely see each other.
Absolutely.
On the road again. All right, cool. That's it. See ya.
Thank you. See ya.
STO Nation is a production of Park Media. The executive producer is Youngwoo Kim. The audio engineer is
Stephen Grasso.
The marketing director is
Guillaume Golson.
The original music and artist is done by
Jason Walsmith.
The sound designer is
Lorenzo Interiano.
and the webmaster is
Puncture.
Without any of these people, this podcast couldn't happen, so a big, huge thank you. And a big, huge thank you to you, the listener. If you like this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a 5-star review. This is Young Wah with STO Nation, and I can't wait to share the road with you.